favorite part of my body now.
I want to help you too. Call us now for our very special offer.
Call 844-4M-DENTAL.
What's the score of the game?
The score is 6-3.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the new Hyundai Elantra with America's best warranty. Lease a Hyundai Elantra for $199 a month or get up to $1,000 bonus cash. See your SoCal Hyundai dealer.
Celebrate her with emeralds, the Mother's Day stone. The Jewelry Exchange has diamond and emerald pendants for $79, rings and earrings $249, or diamonds. 1-carat 3-stone rings and studs $599, 2-carat $14.90. By Factory Direct, the Jewelry Exchange, Tustin.
This is where the insurance companies send your car to die after it's been seriously damaged in an accident. And if you're injured in an accident like this, you only get one chance for the rest of your life to get as much money as you can for your injuries. For almost 40 years, 1-800-THE-LAW 2's network of attorneys have helped thousands of clients fight to get the compensation they deserve. Call 1-800-THE-LAW 2 today. Talk to a lawyer. It's completely free. Don't wait. The clock is ticking. Call 1-800-THE-LAW 2.
Don't forget the snacks, Mom.
Big family?
15 hungry kids.
All right, let's go, go, go!
Stater Brothers. Fresh, affordable, community first.
Watch Off the Clock today at 2 on KTLA 5.
USC canceling its commencement ceremony over safety concerns. I'm Lena Bovian. Coming up next, we hear from students regarding this disappointing news.
I'm Eric Spillman. Day 8 of the Donald Trump criminal trial in New York City, and the former president is complaining about the judge and the thermostat. The latest coming up.
Good morning, I'm Frank Buckley. How much money do you need each year to be considered rich here in California? A new study crunches the numbers. We'll have that for you just ahead.
Good morning, I'm Jessica Holmes. We're going to tell you about a side hustle that's apparently making people tens of thousands of dollars each year, and it involves restaurant reservations. We'll explain.
Good morning, I'm Sam Rubin, new here at our 10 o'clock hour. A couple of reservations. Paula Cole, great singer, she is joining us live. And so to our friend, the game show expert Bob Bowden and Brooke Burns. There's a new game show curriculum at Cal State Los Angeles. You want to major in game shows? We'll tell you how to do it coming up.
All right, good morning, everybody. And sun is starting to come through in a lot of areas, which is feels nice, but it's kind of chilly still outside here, at least in Hollywood. And the sun is coming up in places such as Huntington Beach. A little overcast, but nevertheless, you get rays of sunshine every now and then. 66 for the beaches, 71 downtown. San Fernando Valley at about 73 today, 63 for the high desert. Inland Empire and Orange County Inland. It's the inland areas that could get those showers more so in the afternoon as opposed to the beaches. 71 Orange County Inland, 65 Inland Empire. Frank and Jessica, back to you.
USC has canceled its main commencement ceremony that would have been attended by more than 60,000 people.
University leaders say the decision was made out of safety concerns. KTLA's Alina Bobian live from University Park to explain. Alina, good morning.
Frank, Jess, good morning. You know, it's really sad to think about the fact that some of these students who would be graduating this year, who would be walking on stage, the 2024 class, unfortunately didn't get to do that in 2020 because of the COVID-19 pandemic, and now they are being stripped of that experience again. This is really sad news for so many people, but according to university officials, they say it's absolutely necessary, citing safety concerns because of what happened here on campus just a few days ago. Take a look, a riot, a protest breaking out on campus here, about 100 people getting arrested after police showed up in riot gear. Many other people in attendance, not USC students. The decision to cancel the May 10 commencement comes after recent controversy ignited on April 15 when officials on campus said that the 2024 valedictorian, a young woman by the name of Asna Tabassum, would not be able to speak over concerns of some comments she supported online regarding pro-Palestine. The decision only fueling the tension on campus over the Israel-Hamas war. So now now, instead of the main commencement ceremony, the university says it will be holding at least 23 satellite graduation ceremonies at USC schools and colleges, in addition to smaller departmental receptions. University officials releasing this statement. Take a look. With the new safety measures in place this year, the time needed to process the large number of guests coming to campus will increase substantially. As a result, we will not be able to host the main stage ceremony, traditionally bringing in 65,000 students, families, and friends to our campus, all at the same time during a short window of 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m.
We got chosen to come here based on our intellect and our academic standings and our decision to further our education and learn more about the world, and then yet when we do speak out, we're told to shut up and sit down.
It's really disappointing. I feel awful for the class of 2020 as high schoolers, and now 2024 having another ruined graduation, and it's not even something that makes sense like a pandemic. It's something that is totally avoidable if the university had just allowed our valedictorian to speak, because she has every right to speak because she worked very hard to gain that position.
Now, as far as security goes on campus today, it is super tight. There is a security guard posted at each entrance, and students are being asked to show their student IDs. No one else is allowed on campus. I'm Lena Berman reporting live here near the USC campus, KTLA 5 News.
We employ people like that.
I am a graduate student. I am a teaching assistant. I'm speaking the truth.
Tense moments yesterday on the campus of UCLA as demonstrators are calling for a ceasefire in Gaza amid the Israel-Hamas conflict. An encampment was put up yesterday on the campus's Dixon Plaza, with dozens of participants putting up tents and barricades. Jewish students on campus have expressed concern about what they believe are anti-Semitic phrases being used by some of the protesters and being written on signage. The protests in Westwood come after a huge pro-Palestinian demonstration at USC earlier this week, when nearly 100 protesters were arrested. Former National Enquirer publisher David Pecker is on the stand again this morning in the hush money trial of former President Donald Trump.
Court is on lunch break right now. KTLA's Eric Spillman in the newsroom, though, with the latest. Eric, good morning.
Good morning, Jessica. Good morning, Frank. Donald Trump walked into court this morning and once again lashed out at the judge, calling him conflicted, and he also complained about the temperature in the courtroom.
So we have another day of court in a freezing courthouse. It's very cold in there, on purpose, I believe. They don't seem to be able to get the temperature up. It shouldn't be that complicated, but we have a freezing courthouse, and that's fine. That's just fine. Let them keep handing it out. There's a rigged trial.
Trump is charged with 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. Prosecutors say it was part of a conspiracy involving hush money to influence the 2016 election. He faces up to 4 years in prison or probation if he's convicted. He says he did nothing wrong. Former publisher of the National Enquirer, David Pecker, was on the witness stand for the fourth day today. He has testified that he helped squash salacious stories about Trump to help his campaign by having the tabloid buy those stories, the rights to them, with no intention of ever publishing the stories. In one of those deals, porn star Stormy Daniels received $130,000 from Trump to keep quiet about an alleged sexual encounter she says she had with him. And in another, the National Enquirer paid $150,000 to Karen McDougal, a former Playboy model who claimed she had an extramarital affair with Trump while his wife was pregnant. Trump claims that's not true. Now, on cross-examination, Trump's lawyers got Pecker to admit that he had helped to suppress negative stories about Trump long before he ran for president, and that the National Enquirer caught and killed stories about other famous people, including Arnold Schwarzenegger, Tiger Woods, Mark Wahlberg, the actor, and Rahm Emanuel, the former mayor of Chicago. Also, Pecker testified that what he did for Trump was standard operating procedure, and that he ran attack stories on Bill and Hillary Clinton long before 2015 because, quote, it made sense from a business perspective and was good for the National Enquirer. Now, as late as yesterday, Trump was asked if he plans to testify at some point during the trial, and he responded, sure, I'll testify. But Loyola law professor Jessica Levinson says she thinks that's very unlikely.
There are too many things the prosecution can ask about that would be damaging, that would be embarrassing, that would undermine his credibility. while one could say it makes sense because part of what the prosecution is going to argue here is that he had intent, and who better to say no, he didn't than the former president. I think there are so many credibility issues. I do not think he will take a stand.
Today is day 8 of the trial. It is expected to last 6 weeks. Jessica?
All right, Eric, we thank you for that this morning. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken met with Chinese President Xi Jinping today amid heightened tensions between the two nations. Blinken says he and President Xi spoke about issues including cooperation on trade and stopping fentanyl. Blinken says he warned the Chinese president about its continued support of Russia, which he says would not continue its assault on Ukraine without China's support. The two did not discuss TikTok, whose Chinese owner must sell off within a year to keep the app running here in the U.S.
Here's a question. How much money do you need to make each year to be considered rich?
Well, of course, it depends on which state you live in. A survey by Go Banking Rates found that Connecticut residents making over $656,000 a year are considered rich. That amount topped the list. In New York State, it's $621,301. California, we came in at $613,602. Hawaii, just over $500,000. Mississippi had the lowest salary to be considered rich. That was at $333,597. But as you see there, Washington, D.C. topping everybody with the salary of $719,253.
That's where all the politicians live.
Not really a fair list, too, because you can be living in, Los Angeles here where it's expensive. In California, you can be also living in some more rural areas. Right. Where, so it's
not fair.
Not fair. Not
Depends. And we're imagining that's before the taxes get taken out.
Exactly.
Not fair.
Not fair. Not fair. None of it's fair. I don't
then
like that.
It's a different number.
Yeah. Let's go back to the top 20 pizza joints.
I know, that's an easier list.
Much easier.
Agree upon.
9 minutes after 10 o'clock.